If you want to hear my answers to the Project Panner tag created by Sarah Rose, then stick around. Hi there, it's Hélène with another tag video. Who knew? I came across this tag by absolute accident, and I saw it on Sarah Rose's channel. The channel just kind of came through on my feed. I saw her tag, looked at the questions, listened to her, and I thought that I would try it out and answer the 10 questions myself. And as you can tell by the title, it is all about panning. And I've only been panning products for a couple of years. I am definitely still, in my book, somewhat of a novice at it. And I guess I'm a hybrid makeup enthusiast. I acquire a lot, and there are some things that I don't acquire a lot, I don't care to acquire a lot of, and those tend to be the things that I pan. So with that, let's see how I can tackle these questions. So question number 1. How long have I been project panning? I kind of answered that. For about 2 years is what I'm going to say, give or take a few months. Number 2, what made me decide to start panning, and what did I hope to get out of it? What got me started in panning was watching other people pan. I didn't know it was a thing, but I like the fact that there's a bit of a community around it, and you can have people cheering you on, especially when sometimes using a product over and over and over and over and over again and over again and over again some more, over sometimes years, can be quite frustrating. You can develop apathy, and to have little goals and challenges and rotations and a shared experience with a bunch of people makes it a lot easier to pan. And I don't think I'd be as successful panning if it weren't for these little communities of folks signing up for the same type of challenge and supporting each other. And so I'm really happy to have found this community and to be participating in it. And as a matter of fact, I even have a collaboration that I created with Paula from A Beauty Guru Made Me Do It. I'll put the latest video right here. And it's a lot of fun to build a community and pan together. So yeah. And I didn't really answer, what do I hope to get out of it? I really hope to use up mundane products that I would not finish otherwise. And I think that panning keeps me from buying more of the same category of product. For example, I don't need more blush. I have plenty of blush. I bought one palette just recently with blush in it, but it was for the 3 other pans, which were holographic toppers. That's the reason I bought the palette. But I don't go out and buy blush for the sake of buying blush. I have plenty. I have enough for till the end of my days. And so I think that understanding that a blush takes more than a year to use, it makes you really think about bringing something more into your collection. Other products like eyeshadow, I don't think of the same way. I don't have this idea that I'm going to finish every eyeshadow in my collection. I mean, just looking behind, you can tell that I have more than I could possibly use in my lifetime. It's the variety of color that I'm after. And when I evaluate a palette, I'm looking for its uniqueness compared to what I have in my collection. And that brings me a lot of joy. I mix and match singles. I depot palettes to be able to cluster them in different ways when they're loose from the palette and they're now singles. And actually, if you want to see my depotting playlist, I'll just put it right there for you. I enjoy moving around shadows and putting them in new assortments. And actually, my quad of the month might be something that you would want to see as well. And it's where I will bring in 4 singles from all over the place, sometimes from one brand, sometimes from 4 different brands, and create a quad that I'm going to use for a month. Actually, I can show you one. In this case, they're all from the same brand. These are all from Makeup Geek. I'm very new to Makeup Geek, and so I just put them in a quad and use them for a month. And sometimes it's a challenge because I put the color story together without necessarily having ever used them together. So it's interesting what sometimes falls out of that concoction. And so far, I think over a year and a half, I've only had maybe 2 quads where I said, oof, bad choices. But so far, it's been good. Number 3 is, how do you like to structure your project pans? I will go with whichever structure. I have a rolling project pan. I like to do rolling project pans that have a definite start and end time with other people. I set up an advent calendar project where there are 24 products, and as soon as you're done one, you roll another one in at random. That's a lot of fun. And we kept it pretty much to either products that are on their last leg or a product that is a deluxe sample, so that we can get through more products in a year. And 24 products in a year, they have to be achievable. So it's nice to just get rid of some little stuff that you have in your collection that's just kind of weighing you down, because it adds to the quantity number-wise, but not necessarily to the quality of your collection. So that is a project, that's the one with A Beauty Guru Made Me Do It, Paula, that I was referring to earlier, and I really enjoy that. And I did mention in my last update the Partners in Cream project pan. I'll put that one right there if I have any cards left. I want to say that that is in my top 2. I really enjoy the one that I created with Paula, and the second one is definitely the Partners in Cream project, because it has helped me rekindle my love of cream-based makeup, and I'm having a ton of fun with that project. Kind of a wandering answer, but hopefully it made sense. So in short, I like every length and type of project, and if it doesn't work for me, I just stop doing it, but that tends to be pretty rare. And number 4 is, what are my favorite ways to track my progress? And I'm going to say it's 2 main things. One of them is visually, and the other one is with weights. So I take pictures of my progress, and I also note the weight changes, and very often it's also pictures of the weight changes. Those 2 ways are really, for me, the best way, and I really like the visual aspect. I will cut into a container to be able to see. I depot when it's a tube. I always cut the tube and get everything out. Just squeezing it, you would be surprised how much is still left in the tube, and that bothers me. I need to cut it open and get everything I possibly can. And yeah, so visual and weight are my 2 preferred methods. Number 5 is, what products have been the easiest to pan? I am going to say skincare, and then I'm also going to say lip products. Somehow I have discovered I am very good at panning lip products. I had no idea, but my advent calendar for this year, that project, 24, it's all lip products, and I'm just kicking butt. So apparently I'm good at panning lipstick. I would never have thought that was the case, but I'm doing fine and really enjoying the process, actually. And number 6 is, what product is the hardest for you to pan? Powder face products, specifically blush. I find blush very hard to pan. I started panning I think it was the Concept blush from Tarte, and it was a deluxe size blush. I gave up. I could not wear that same color for that long. Bronzer doesn't bother me as much, but blush, man, I need variety. I need to be able to use different stuff. So blush is now in the same category for me as eyeshadow. I don't try to finish them. If I finish them, it would be because I love the color and it's in my rotation on a regular basis, but otherwise, I do not want to pan blush. I can deal with bronzer, not blush. And the idea of panning a highlighter, please, it would take me so long to pan a highlighter. I like to bring them into the rotation, but I have no hopes, no intention of panning highlighter. Now that said, right now I have 2 blushes in the Partners in Cream project, but I'm not trying to finish them. I'm just trying to use a cream blush and a liquid blush this year because I want to get more use out of them because I really like them and I get to focus on them, but I'm not trying to finish them, if that makes sense. Number 7 is, are there any types of products that I rarely or never put in a project pan? I would not be a big fan of putting nail polish in. I haven't done that yet, don't intend to. And I also don't want to put eyeshadows in a project pan unless I am panning a palette. And I have a palette right here that I am panning this year, and I can show you what it looks like. And it's the same palette I was panning last year, and you can see I have quite a few pans. If I pan an eyeshadow palette, it has to be a neutral palette. It has to be a palette that I can pair with a whack of other eyeshadows. I don't want to wear the same color combinations over and over and over again. I get bored to tears, and for me, doing an eyeshadow look is a creative outlet. So the idea of doing the same look over and over and over again, shoot me now. No thank you. So I will pan a neutral palette, but with the idea that I can use 1 or 2 of the shadows in here from time to time and pair it with something else that I want to use in my collection. So a definite note, I don't see myself ever panning a colorful eyeshadow palette. I think I would be bored to tears and I would be extremely frustrated. So those are products I would not pan. Nail polish and colorful eyeshadow palettes. Not interested. Pretty much anything else I think I would pan. Pretty much anything else. Except for, we talked about that already. Powder blushes. No thanks. Highlighters. No thanks. Number 8 is, do you pan skincare, body care, or do I only pan makeup? I do pan skincare because I don't want my skincare to go bad. So when I'm worried about a cream getting older, I do focus on it and finish it. So serums, creams, that kind of a thing, unless I don't think it works for me, in which case I'll just get rid of it, which is rare. And body care, yeah, I pan body butter for the same reason. I don't want my body butter to go bad. Cream products go bad faster than powder products, and I think it would be silly to keep something for way too long. So I pan pretty much anything. I pan shampoos, I pan liquid soaps, bar soaps, I pan body butter, body oils. Yeah, anything that has an expiry date, I don't have a problem with panning, and I like a first in, first out, trying to get rid of older products. And so yeah, I guess I pan the majority of things. Number 9 is, what is my number 1 piece of advice for a successful project pan? Pan stuff you want to use up, but that you also like. Don't pan stuff that you don't like using. Why would you do that to yourself? Why? No. You will never get through the majority of what you have in your collection. Pan things that you like and don't worry about it. Things take a really, really long time. And you may get to a point in your panning of that given item that you want to roll it out and roll something else in because you're kind of sick of it. Don't worry about running out of something that you like. Your tastes change, your interests change, and I would highly recommend decluttering things that you don't like. Don't pan something you dislike. Life is too short. Use what you enjoy. And for most of us, we're hardly ever going to run out of any category of product in a meaningful way. So don't worry about panning things that you kind of wish you didn't own. And number 10 is whether panning has affected my makeup purchasing habits, and if so, how? It has. It has in the areas of bronzer, highlight, and blush. I don't really buy any of those anymore. Again, except for that holographic palette because I wanted the holographic toppers. I realize how long those take to use up, and I have a plethora of different varieties of blushes, bronzers, and highlighters. I don't need more, and I know I don't need more. And every time I'm tempted, I kind of go, but you have so many, you're good, you're good. And that really helps. It has not curbed my appetite for eyeshadows, probably because of that creative outlet I talked about earlier. I just love eyeshadows. They are my thing. I have way more than I can possibly use in a lifetime, but it also fuels my interest in this channel and trying different things and different combinations and learning more and more and more about eyeshadows, especially as I mentioned in a previous video recently. Indie brands are near and dear to my heart, and I'm really discovering a lot and discovering what is possible with eyeshadow in all sorts of ways, and that is just fantastic. But for pretty much every other category of product, like lipstick, eyeliner, mascara, I don't need any more. And actually, those are 3 categories of products I said I don't want to buy any more of. I'm good, and I think that panning makes me take a look at the volume in various categories and just be more aware of how long things take to use, and that in some categories of products, sometimes you can't really tell the difference. Sure, you can tell the difference in the pan, that one product is different than another, but once it's on your face or once it's on your fingers, you can't really tell the difference all that much. So that curbs some categories of spending, and I'm happy about that. And I will very often, for things that I know take forever to use up, I will tend to gravitate toward deluxe samples of things or minis and not a full-size product. And that is definitely as a result of panning. And for that, I am very grateful. So that's it. Those are my answers to the 10 questions. Thank you so much to Sarah Rose for coming up with this tag. I really enjoyed answering the questions. I hope you got something out of listening to those answers. If you have some answers to those 10 questions that you would love to share with us, please, please, please leave me a comment. I would love to read it, and as I know others would as well. And if you have a channel, I tag you to do this video. So that's it from me. Thank you so much for watching. I appreciate it every single time, and I look forward to seeing you in the next one. But for now, take care.